decide what a show face-to-face nomination. But what a show this is going to be, because I've just been informed by this lady that it's officially my 250th show.
Happy 250th!
For 250 shows. Do you want them? Because at least you made an effort. You made an effort. Now, on my 250th show, it wouldn't be complete without a stellar panel, and tonight I have actually got some of my faves. First up, when this guy is not making ladies swoon, he's busy showing off his tree surgeon skills. It's Big Brother's very own Dr. McDreamy, Liam McGough. Next up, we have not seen her on the show for a few weeks, so it's time for a big reunion. She's more than just a little bit amazing. It's Celebrity Big Brother's Michelle Heaton. And finally, last time he was here, he did a little bit of karaoke and he slut-dropped all over the place. God knows what is in store for us this evening. It's the gorgeous Bobby Cole-Norris. So, tonight we saw the return of the famous face-to-face nominations. I love how they all shit themselves the minute they know it's coming. I don't think it came as any surprise that Pav scored 7 out of 7 votes, to be honest. So let's start. Mark was up first. He nominated Pav and Chris. Michelle, were you surprised?
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, Pav is no surprise. They all made very legitimate reasons why they all nominated
and they
Pav.
all used the same reason.
Yeah, same reason. Very legitimate. I would do exactly the same. And his second nomination was Chris. Yeah. It's hard because I know Chris had a bit of a rough time the last couple of weeks, so maybe that's one of the reasons.
He did nominate Chris last week as well.
Yeah. I think that maybe his reason was a bit of a cop-out. You nominate people because you want to, and he keeps apologising a little bit too much for my liking. Like,
and it was quite last
really
week.
Care?
He nominated him, and then he went into the bedroom with him, and he went, "I think I've made a mistake with one of my nominations." And then he did it again this week. He said that he didn't want to pick him, but he still did pick him. Liam, was it a good choice, do you think, on Mark's behalf?
Yeah, I think it was a good choice. I think it's got to the stage now where, you know, everybody wants to pretend they can't think of who they'd like to vote for and things, so he's trying to do something bad, but then at the same time, you know, coat it in a good...
Does it get to this point, though, when it gets nitpicky? You know, like Christopher said, I've got to nominate you for something, and Winston, it's a nitpicky reason, but there's got to be a reason at this point.
Yeah, I think, although I would think at this point it's more a case of everybody's close to the final, they know that they're in with a chance at least of doing well or winning it. So often people are describing negative things about the other characters so that it may reflect on them positively. If they're different to that, then that's why they're good and therefore they should be carried through or whatever. I think I could have guessed that he was going to pick Chris, so it's not a shock to me, so I can't see why it should be a shock to him.
Yeah. Bobby, were you shocked at all that everybody went for Pav?
I think Pav is absolutely the easiest choice in there just because he's been in there a matter of weeks. I do think it's a bit of a cop-out because it's like the easiest one, and I think Pav saw it coming, Stevie Wonder saw it coming. But, I mean, as Michelle says, if I was in there, I probably would have done the same because it's like we've been on this hashtag journey together and you want to see your friends in the finale.
I like that you said hashtag and you put your little markers on there, rather than just dropping it like it's a normal word on these kind of shows.
You know what I mean, babes?
Now, as everyone has made quite clear tonight, Pav is not an original housemate. But does he deserve to be in the final? We saw him say in the diary room tonight, you know, just because I didn't come in at the beginning, I'm a housemate. Why shouldn't I be allowed to stay?
It's a game, and at the end of the day, he's come in to play the game, and why shouldn't he be allowed to be in the final, same as everyone else? He has as much right as everyone.
He deserved it if he was entertaining. If he came into the show late and was entertaining, he would have deserved it. He came into the show late and gave pretty much all.
As we have said before, though, it's quite hard to be entertaining when no one wants to hang out with you.
Exactly.
He wasn't even given a chance to be entertaining. They didn't give him a chance from the beginning. They picked on him and he just went within himself.
Yeah.
He was never given a chance.
You don't need somebody else to bounce.
We would have thought he had gone cuckoo if he started being entertaining by himself. What's happening, big brother?
Yeah, but Mark is entertaining by himself because he's the Mark show. He could have been the Pav show.
No favours. All he does, he does himself no favours. He walks away from the group. He doesn't make an effort.
If he tried to be like Mark, who'd be accused of being fake.
There would have been less votes.
There would have been less votes if everyone was voting in that diary room for Pav.
No.
I always say, have your say, say whatever you want to say. Now I'm like, shut up. You need to talk about something. No, I don't mean that. I like that. I like that. A little bit of argy-bargy in the studio. Now, Helen, she said that she felt the least closest to Christmas, poor little Christmas, out of all of the housemates. Do you think that was a fair comment and a fair reason?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard because at this point again, like you said, you find pernickety reasons. Sometimes it is legitimate that they don't really know who to pick, and that is a good reason for picking somebody. They're not as close to them as anybody else. I just find them annoying. That would be a good enough reason for me.
And also, she's best buds with Mark in there, so I suppose anything that Mark has a moan about, she probably kind of takes that in as well.
But the whole Mark and Christopher thing is just, I just can't get my head around it at all. Do they love each other or not? I mean, what's
Did you
happening?
just say, do they love each other or not?
Yeah.
I don't think it's love. Look at Bobby's face.
I think it might be. I think it might be.
Okay, we're going to talk about...
But it's like a kindergarten
We're going to talk
class,
about the
isn't
rest
it?
of the show in the second debate. We're going to try and concentrate on nominations on this part of the show. Winston is also up. Did any of you see that coming? Liam?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think people are probably tiring of him. I think people like somebody in the show who's gone through a bit of a journey, you know, learned things about themselves along the way, changed to become a better person. He's been very just vanilla, plain all the way through. All of this stuff now is boring. It's getting on my nerves.
Do that again, Liam.
But that's why he does it.
You all really want. I know. Now, Christopher, Pav, Mark and Winston are all up for the chop, but this being Big Brother, there was another nominations twist. Check this out.
You must now discuss which housemate you want to join you and face the public vote.
If we go based on who got nominated yesterday, Chris got a nomination and those two didn't get one each.
That's the way I'm looking. Even if it was me that nominated,
I think I agree.
Looking at the three of them, these three housemates, and knowing them all as well as I do, I think Chris would be the person who'd be least fierce about facing the public vote, and perhaps is the person who has the least thirst and desire to be in the final out of the three housemates here. And I think at this stage you have to really, really want it. Ashley and Ash.
There's more chance of them not going, but Chris got the nomination. He got the more nominations. Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris. I'm going to go with Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
And I've got a feeling he's got the 10 large in there as well.
Have it large, have it large.
Who are you going to choose?
Just going on nominations,
Chris. Chris, you now face the public vote.
Yes.
So, as part of today's task, the housemates up for eviction had to pick either Chris, Ash or Ashley to face Friday's public vote along with them. So now Chris faces eviction as well. We can also reveal it's going to be a double on Friday. I'm slightly baffled by it all. Why not just leave it to face-to-face noms? But what do you think, Michelle?
I think that it's really unfair for Chris that they're using the excuse. I think he'd be the least bothered. Yeah. I think, of course, he'd be bothered. Maybe he's putting on a brave face. I'd be absolutely gutted if you got all that way and they use the excuse that, oh, you know, you're not that bothered because you haven't said it. It's just a really poor excuse for me. It's a bit sad.
Do you think Chris was the right choice?
Yeah, although I'm slightly worried that it's the double thing now. I think Pav, unfortunately, is going to be affected. Pav's one of my favourite contestants. Chris, however, he strikes me as some kind of, like, evil owl from a Disney film or something like that. I think people dislike him. He's socially awkward. He's not comfortable to be around. I think people now, because they've known him for such a long time, are too polite to say, you just really wig us out. Just to be around you just gets on my nerves.
Oh,
I don't live with it. Listen, you're welcome to feel sorry for
I
them.
enjoy socially awkward people.
I enjoy...
I don't mean like in a watching and laughing at way. Like, I just find them fascinating. Being around them.
Yeah, that's fine to say, but at the same time, if we look at his personality traits, somebody who can be socially awkward often does that out of insecurity. He seems to do it in a spiteful way, and that's less attractive. He folds when somebody... If he calls somebody names in the garden and he's swearing about them, they confront him, he folds and then instantly starts to say, no, actually, yeah, I didn't mean it. I meant you were brilliant. I meant you were fantastic. It's because I respect you so much. Which, that's like a sell-out character. I don't like that.
I don't think he's got a nasty bone in his body. I think he just does not know how he's reacting and how he's acting with people.
No, I think he's a bit mean. I do think he's got a bit of a mean streak. I agree with you, and I think he's very two-faced, but he does it in such a sweet little way. And when he is confronted, he just collapses, he just folds. And no, he's not nervous.
Liam, I think she said that because she likes your guns.
I like her. I like her.
Thanks, everybody. We all like Liam's guns. Right, still to come, body language expert Judy James. Who just laughed on their own over there?
That wasn't at my guns, was it?
Giving the housemates a full body inspection, but before that, on Friday, Big Brother is serving up a dirty double. Which two go? You decide. This week is a double eviction, and Chris, Christopher, Mark, Winston and Pav all face the public vote. Who goes? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. For Chris, add 03. For Christopher, add 04. For Mark, add 09. For Winston, add 16. For Pav, add 18. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50 pence. Other landlines may vary. Or you can vote via the Big Brother app, where 2 votes will cost you 99 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. To present for 250 episodes.
Happy anniversary!
Oh, thanks, Darren. That's better. Much larger. I like it when it gets larger. Come on, there's got to be one. Right, and what better way to thank all of you for watching all 250 episodes than to give you another juicy exclusive.
Last night, whenever I sat down in the smoking area and everyone's talking about nominations, Mark turned to me in front of everybody, for everyone's amusement, for everyone's entertainer. He used me as a joke last night in front of everybody and said, I wish I'd nominated you today. I wish I'd nominated you in front of everyone else. I chose Chris as my second nomination. That was a complete cop-out. I should have chosen you because you chose me the other day. You labelled me the house's biggest game player and I was upset about that. And I thought for a second, you weren't even that upset about it. Helen made you feel upset about it. Helen told you you should be upset about it. Don't pretend. I don't genuinely believe he was that hurt about it, Big Brother. And it just kind of made me question how genuine he was being with me and how truthful he was being. I didn't feel as though he was being honest with me. I thought as though he was making something out of nothing and he was only being angry because he felt he should be angry. I'm not so sure how much he actually likes me. And it was even something else he said last night. He said, the people who've been most important to me throughout the Big Brother experience have been Matthew and Helen. No mention of me whatsoever. And I've done the exact opposite. I've said Mark probably has been the most important person to me in here. I seem to be giving so much to Mark and getting jack shit in return. And I think I'm going to have to put a stop to that as well, because I think I've had enough, really. I think I've given far too much.
Most definitely trouble in paradise there, I think. Now, it's about time we all got our psych on and discussed the latest goings-on with our favourite body language expert. It's Dame Judy James.
Can I just say, his precision gestures there, he meant
what does that mean?
He was tapping out each word.
I mean this shit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Until tomorrow when we make it up.
Yeah.
Not you, then, obviously.
Yeah. I haven't done anything. OK, so you want to start tonight by talking about Winston.
Yes.
What about Winston?
That's actually the question, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, is it?
He kind of needs doing in the best way. He's been wearing what I call an emotional condom in there, hasn't he, really? He's not.
What is such a thing, Judy Jones?
Well, he's just. Everybody else has been quite. You know, they've paired off with people. They've kind of looked wretched. They've looked upbeat at times. But with him, he's looked really nice. A really nice guy. But he hasn't been tested. He didn't pair off with it. I mean, tomorrow went quite quickly, so we haven't seen that side of him. And in a way, he's gone through the experience with what I call not touching the sides. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting for him because he is, like Mark. Like Mark. He went into the house, like Mark and Zoe, he was already a marketable product. I think he'd done television, he knew where there was a gap in the market, he needed a bigger platform, so he's used it a bit like a large casting couch, which is not, I'm not criticising, but I think that was very much his design. Therefore, it's probably better for him that he stays like this character.
Right.
But I think for the rest of us that want to vote, I think we like to see somebody that's been through it a little bit and stood up to be counted, and he hasn't quite got there. We haven't. I don't think we know much about him.
So
more
he
than when he went in.
Has kind of sailed along exactly the same the whole way through.
I mean, he's had a few experiences,
hasn't really
but
changed.
No, and that obviously he really is a genuinely nice guy. But I think we want this reveal where we feel that we know him better now than we did when he went in, and I don't think we do.
And do you think we're going to get a reveal?
I think, and this is slightly sad because I think he's almost manufacturing a reveal now. I think when he got that news, he's actually fallen victim to his own success. Success is very stressful, so he obviously feels he's nearly there now, he's nearly winning, and then you got all that good feedback last week. And I think that's caused him a bit of a problem because I think he's quite canny. He knows that he needs to do something else now, and he's maybe picked the wrong target to be doing that with, unwittingly, because Helen got all the flack, didn't she? So he obviously thought, I can be the giant killer with Helen.
Right.
But he didn't know that she's actually more popular now, and she didn't fight back, so it's not looking
so
quite
this is
good.
the argument they had about Mark when he got upset about the task that they did the other night, when they kind of had that little bickering session in bed. And she did say, didn't she? She pointed out, she said, he's always wants to row with me.
Yeah.
So you think that is his little strategy? I'll be the one that stands up to Helen.
Well, it must have been endorsed because he heard so much bad stuff about her, didn't he? He must have thought, if I'm going to be the giant slayer, then this is the one to go for. But it's just backfired. It has, as I say, he's not to know that she's now quite popular. She's sort of gaining fans outside, and so it just doesn't quite work. And that thing where, you know, the Monty Python fish attack thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he went too far because you could see the rest of the housemates. He was rubbing dog food up her nose, and it was all a bit too much. And you could see Chris chewing his nails. I think he actually made her look better rather than himself doing things like that.
OK, what about... it was quite interesting as well when they were having that little bickering session the other night. And I know Winston's kind of apologised now for saying, I didn't think about how you would have personally taken it. I just saw it as a game. But Ash said he thought he was being quite unreasonable as well. So do you think will their relationship suffer, do you think? Could it suffer? Because they're kind of best buds in there, aren't they?
I think, in a way, Chris now is going back to what he used to be, a bit of the house guru, and I think he got it right when he was in the diary room, and he said that cool gang, whatever happens, they will bicker, they will argue, but ultimately they stay together. And I think there's a bromance between those two guys that is almost more important than the relationship with Helen. So I don't see it causing any lasting damage.
OK. Now, everybody nominated Pav in face-to-face nominations. Seemed to take it on the chin, I think. I don't think he was surprised, let's put it that way. Let's just take a quick look at him.
My first nomination is Pav. I don't have a problem with you personally. I just would rather see everybody else in this room get the chance to win before you, and I don't know you enough on a personal level to want you to stay more than others. I'm sorry.
So what does his body language tell us?
I would actually, when you said take it under the chin, he did like a punch from a boxer. First of all, his pit-bearing, which means that, look, whatever, and I can take it, but he patently can't. And if you watch him through all of those, he does this accelerated blink rate, which is almost genuine shock. He does a lot of mouth skew, where his mouth slides to one side. And in fact, when it got to the end and he realised that he was getting nominated by everybody, you could actually see his biceps twitching. So I think he was masking a lot of resentment and anger. And I think he thought that this time he'd done enough and made friends enough with all of them. I think he thinks he should be accepted as one of them now.
As he said in the diary room afterwards, actually. What about the others? How do you think the others took their nominations?
I mean, Chris always takes it like, I love you, doesn't he? You know, sort of he nods and sort of looks absolutely lovingly.
It's okay.
Yes, it's fine, it's fine. Mark took it well, I thought. He just sat there nodding like Winston, and they both looked quite stoic. I think Christopher was absolutely amazing. He went very sort of staccato with his head movements. And what he normally does when he does that is that he looks really disappointed, but then he comes up with this beautiful smile as though to say, oh, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter. But that last gesture was missing that time, so all we got was the head flick and then quite a sinister roll of the eyes. You know, I think he feels, I would imagine, that he's now done what they've told him to do. They've told him to stand up to Mark, they've told him to be more entertaining, he's stuck his head in a bowl of suds, and you've still nominated me. So I think he feels a lot of resentment about that.
We saw him say in The Garden as well, didn't he, that he could have possibly nominated Mark. And then we saw Mark say the same thing, you know, maybe I just should have nominated Christopher. Is there... I know there's kind of not a relationship at the moment, but could their friendship be in trouble?
I think they're
Is it coming to a head? We've also seen that exclusive clip just as well.
They're very into brinkmanship, and I think, in a way, you almost feel like you want to knock their heads together, because I think they do have feelings about one another, but it's like one will test the other, and I could have this, that and the other. And I think they are literally testing one another's feelings, because Mark, emotional condom, definitely. You know, and he's almost saying, you know, I've never felt emotional about anybody. It's like, you know, it's all there for you, but he's not. He gets on the brink of admitting it, and then he backs down, and I think it's quite frustrating. So I think, you know, this is more about them, and I think, unfortunately for both of them, they're just going to fight one another away from winning. They're going down with that fight.
What do you think would have happened had it been normal diary room noms? Somebody in the audience, if they thought it would be completely different?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've got so many things they're thinking about now. How do they want to look making those nominations? I think there's still a degree of intimidation about... I mean, Ash is very strong in there now at the moment, very dominant, and I think nobody really wanted to put him up either. So they gave very weak reasons as well, and I think a lot of them, if you hear Ashley, there's still very deep waters of genuine negative emotions running there, but I think they just want a bit of an easy ride to the end now, and they don't want to look too bad about who they're nominating.
Well, it's not going to be so easy on Friday because it is a double eviction, which I love. Who do you think could adapt themselves to stay?
It's very difficult because they've been trying already, and it's caused them all sorts of problems again. You know,
the minute they hear something in a task about themselves, like lots of people have said, you know, that's why they nominated him. For Christopher, he's changed who he is in the past week because of what he's heard, possibly, and Mark thinks too much about public perception.
Yeah,
so
and that's been quite hideous.
It can backfire.
Absolutely, and it is absolutely weird that the people that got the biggest posting in the focus groups in the public, which is Helen, I mean, she's actually sat down. Helen and Mark did quite well out of it because ultimately they sat down, they explained why they were like that, they learned a bit from it. Whereas the ones that got the good feedback, which is Christopher and Winston, they've actually gone into sort of self-destruct mode. That confidence has not really suited them. I think both of them maybe should have kept back somewhere where they were. I think now we're seeing something that looks too contrived.
OK, Judy, thank you very much. Judy James, everybody. Stay tuned, because coming up, we are going to be debating the rest of tonight's show. Plus, shock horror, Mark and Christopher, they've had another Barney. See you soon. Side, and if you didn't already know, it's my 250th.
Happy 250th. I bought you some flowers.
Thanks, Stephen.
There you go. Feel that.
Want some more? Don't kick the little one.
No, don't kick the
tell you what. Right, would you like another exclusive? Yeah! OK. And it seems that the housemates have all finally agreed on something.
This is Big Brother.
Fucking hell.
Housemates, one of you will win Big Brother and the cash prize. However, Big Brother has some news.
Come on, let's be having you.
The prize fund no longer stands at £100,000. Big Brother is giving you the chance to increase the prize by £25,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Housemates, prepare yourselves for the power of money.
Oh, great.
What we could say, whoever the winner is, divides the 25 grand between the eight of us.
How about that?
Yeah, but they do this every year.
That's 125 grand. The winning
That's £3 grand a piece.
100% do it.
I think I'll do that a million.
That's packed.
With the extra money on top of the 100 grand, we split it between us 8.
Yeah.
Now
25 grand between 8 people.
Nice. Let's do this. Woo!
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
OK, so, look, we were all chatting then. Did you all hear what happened? Yeah, so that extra 25 grand, they have all agreed to split that. Not the 100, just the 20, the extra... You're looking really confused.
Because, listen, if that was me, mate, it's dog-eat-dog out here, do you know what I mean?
You would just take it
they went in alone, so you leave alone, do you know what I mean?
Liam, you were shaking your head all the way through that, BT. What did that mean?
Yeah, well, because I just think that whoever it does fall on, I'll be interested to see them then share that out once they're not in the house. You know, it's not a lot of money when you divide it 8 ways. I know it is still a lot of money, but not as much once you cut it up that many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
You weren't sharing yours, were you?
No, I wasn't. What I would say, though, is the people that aren't your closest friends in there became your competition the moment you leave because you're fighting for magazines and nightclub appearances and things like that. And watch how lovely they are to one another. Yeah. So I would just say, whoever gets it, you know, if you want to help somebody out, help somebody worthy of it, a charity or something, but not these other halfway.
That's why we love him! OK, let's talk about the rest.
Oh, that was brilliant. Did you write that before you came?
Someone's giving Michelle a little bit too much wine. Right, let's discuss the rest of tonight's show. We saw Ash performing some magic. We haven't seen anything like that since Dexter the Magician was in the house. Were you impressed by his magical skills, Bobby?
I don't think Dynamo's got nothing to worry about.
He was good!
Do you think, babe?
I thought he was good.
I mean, if I was on a cruise liner going across the 7 seas, I mean, it'd probably be all right with a Jaeger. But, I mean, it's just not... It's not what I want from Big Brother.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But
how did he get that card on Mark's picture on the wall? That was pretty impressive.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Emma, no.
I like what he did with the old card, and I can't get my head around that. It's a bit of trickery going on, but, I mean, he's nice to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair enough. And if he wants to put a cape on, I'll sit there and stare at him. But it's entertainment for the others, isn't it? And I guess while I've got 2 weeks left, let him crack on, get his hat out, get the sweets out.
Yeah? Michelle, what did you think of seeing this kind of fun, magical side of Ash?
It was nice, because I do think he's been a bit boring. He's been flying with the radar the whole time. And now there's less people. We're focusing on individuals a little bit more. I do like him. I think he's been a nice housemate, and he kind of deserves to be in the final. He doesn't deserve to win. But if we had seen more of that side of him, maybe he would have done.
OK, we saw Christopher and Helen get into another little... Not quite as good as Liam's speech, but well done.
He brought it.
We saw them get into another little bit of a tiff. Was accusing him of stealing cigarettes a little bit unfair? Ashley seemed to think so.
It was a little bit, but Helen, you know, just does that. She just comes out with things without thinking about it. But it really wasn't that big a deal. It was kind of said half-heartedly. Yeah. He takes everything far too seriously anyway. He's just a little bit annoying.
What do you think, Bobby? Was it a glimmer of the old Helen?
Oh, completely. I think a leopard never changes her spots. All I could say is if I was in that house with her, I'd find her a piece of work. And I'd much rather be sitting in the garden talking to the other 7 than Helen. I do think we're getting the lights come back of her very true colours in the early days of Big Brother.
OK, as I said, Ashley obviously wasn't very impressed. She kind of walked away, had a little chat in the diary room about it. Liam, are all housemates stuff kind of there for the taking? When you're in there, is it like, oh, can I borrow your top? Can I pinch a cigarette? Can we share dinner?
You think so, but if you've lived in, like, shared accommodation or whatever, at the beginning it is, and then it gradually becomes not that way. I remember messing around with Brian's lip gloss or something, and I chucked it down, and I found out quite quickly that other people's things are quite important to them or whatever, so...
And I would imagine it then becomes another reason. Those little things become a reason to nominate somebody.
Yeah, well, you don't have many possessions while you're in there, and sometimes you like to create a little nest of your photos and your things that you just want just for you. Plus hygiene, you know, you don't want other people's things getting eye makeup and things, you know. You get I don't even know what the... Yeah, I would say it's important.
What are you laughing at Liam for?
Just laughing at Bobby over there, isn't it? He'd be in trouble if he's in there, wouldn't he?
Yeah. It would be. We also saw Christopher get emotional after yet another little row with Mark. They're just rowing constantly these days. Liam, what's going to happen with this relationship?
Well, I like it.
Is the friendship in trouble?
Yeah, I think so. I'm with Michelle in that I personally think that their relationship's been genuine. I think, like a genuine relationship, it's been affected by outside influence now. So while they're both kind of guessing what the other ones think and they're drifting further and further apart, I think what would benefit them, or us as viewers, is for Big Brother to give them a little cheeky meal in the top den, away from things, a bottle of wine, keep drunk Helen away, you know, getting her 2 kind of thing, and let's see some love flourish, you know.
OK. Mark said tonight, though, that he'd like to see Christopher disappear. I thought it was a bit mean. Do you think he was partly joking? Do you think there was a glimmer of truth in it?
I think they personally fancy each other. They're slightly in love, especially Christopher's in love with Mark, definitely. Mark's playing up on that fact. He knows it, damn right. And it's just like kindergarten. It's a love-hate thing. It's like when you... It's like a girl and boy in the playground when you hit them and they're a tag team and they run away. It's just that kind of relationship. You can see it a mile off personally. And I think that outside the house, they might have a genuine shot.
I think he kind of did the right thing, though, didn't he? The argument happened. He was like, do you know what? You're drunk and I'm not going to deal with this. And he just walked away. Is that the best way to deal with everything in there?
In the moment, you've got to take the heat out of the situation, haven't you? So while somebody's going to fire themselves up, get out the way, but then you've got to get back to it quickly and get it dealt with, because otherwise it's that animosity and the negative feelings are going to start to have an effect on the rest of the housemates, and then you isolate yourself. So while I would say he's right to take himself away, let the guy cool down, let the drink, you know, leave him, and then go back and make any points that he needs to solve it.
Bobby, what would you have done? Would you have walked away, or would you have just gone for it?
No, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it's become a little bit cruel now towards Christopher. I feel like Helen and Mark are very much... They've ganged up, they've got their own little clique going on, and I feel like they're both digging a little bit in, and I feel it's a bit uncomfortable, and I do feel sorry for Christopher, so I think he did right to walk off. But I think Mark reflected on that quite quick, and all that slut dropping and twerking against the window just when he'd gone and laid in bed. I think he thought, oh, I've upset him here. But you can't keep doing that to him, Mark, do you know what I mean? Actually, I think he's realising in his head, enough's enough.
Yeah, trying to neutralise the situation. Do you think Christopher's changed?
Yeah, he's got verbal diarrhoea now. All of a sudden, this last week, he's got verbal diarrhoea. It's just non-stop talk.
He's being used by Mark. He loves... I'm sure that he does love him. And Mark is just taking the mick out of him, because when he gets with the little clique of Helen and that, he runs him down, and then he wants everything to be all right, and Christopher is... I think Christopher's a lost soul.
I hate it when Barbara looks upset. She really looks upset with him.
Christopher's come off the lead. It's like he's been under Mark's foot all the time, well, legs all the time, and he's been let off the lead, and now it's like, hey, I can go in the shower and dance, and I can do this and I can do that, and show how I really am. So he's taking...
So you think this isn't Mark changing because of the focus group? Sorry, Christopher changing because of the focus group. No. This is the real Christopher that we haven't seen.
I think that Chris was coming out of himself now, and I think he's really changing. I think he feels as though he's not going to be subdued anymore because he was worried that Mark was going to get upset if he was like that.
a lot of the time with the way Mark talks.
Only if the others come across and literally look at him and then he gets embarrassed. But when he's in the shower on his own, with Pav, he was really having a good time.
Yeah, in the shower with Pav, rapping, fully clothed. It was amazing. Thank you, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. Right, that's it for now. But coming up, Michelle and Bobby are going to have all the latest news from the reality gallery. We'll see you after the break. The fourth and final part of my 250th episode.
The biggest bunch of all, Emma.
What's going on? Here's the news. Surprise, surprise. At 12:13 this afternoon, and right on cue, it was time for Christopher and Mark to have another spat.
Nah. What on earth do people think of me whenever I'm sitting around the smoking area and the person I'm supposed to be closest to in the house is sitting there calling me everything under the sun, saying, what was it you said about me last night? Oh, I should have nominated you. What the hell do you think that did to me? I was fucking humiliated. Everyone out there pissing themselves laughing about it. I felt embarrassed, Mark. I was humiliated.
So
You're supposed to be the person closest to me.
So we've got... So sick, Christopher.
Have you had any water?
Doctor.
You haven't had any water, have you?
No.
If I got you some water, would you drink it?
No, stay with me instead.
Okay. But you need some water at some point.
I hate being hungover.
In here, it's dire as well. There's too many bright lights.
Oh, no.
Elephants walking on your brain.
I'm so hungover.
Why are you hiding? I can see you.
That's how I kiss. You better believe it. Horrible, though, the noise, isn't it? Horrible. I give them about an hour before they're again. At 3:01 this afternoon, Ash and Winston had a tough decision to make.
A nice even finish all over. Short back and sides. Happy customers every time.
Ash, would you like to add £1,000 to the prize fund by getting a Helen hairstyle?
No.
Why not, Ash?
I need to keep my hair.
Thanks, but no thanks.
I'm obviously not very good.
Why not, Winston?
Because I really, really like my hair. If my hair looks shit, I don't feel confident. I'd rather get the absolute shit kicked out of me rather than get my hair cut.
Saying I'm a shit hairdresser.
I'm not saying you're shit.
So Ash and Winston would rather turn down £1,000 than get a haircut from Helen. Says a lot about her short back and side skills, doesn't it? Do I really have to read this? Yeah. I'm not good at reading an audio cue when I've not read it. Emma, we know this wasn't in audio cue earlier, but here's a special VT to celebrate your 250th episode.
Hi, mate. What time is it? Where's my hair gone? Last thing I remember, Rylan was at the rap party offering me a drink. 2014. 250 shows. Oh, well done, Emma. Congratulations, love. But hang on a sec, if I've been asleep for 3 series, who's been doing... You must be fucking kidding me. That slimy piece of fucking shit. Rylan!
I would just like to congratulate you on your 250th episode of Bit on the Side. May you continue because you are truly amazing.
Congratulations on your 250 Bits on the Side. You're a great presenter and I almost like watching you as much as I like blinking.
Hello, I'm here at Buckingham Palace with a message for Emma from the Queen.
She says, congratulations on your 250th show.
Hi Emma, congratulations on 250 episodes of Bots. In my professional psychotherapeutic opinion, you've smashed it.
Hi Emma, congratulations on your 250th show, and this is from us for you.
Hello Emma, it's Shafiq Shah, the Lord Mayor of Birmingham. Congratulations on your 250th Big Brother's Bit on the Side show. The people of Birmingham, and especially the people of Sutton Coldfield, are extremely proud of you.
My little Pixie, the Queen of Bruv, with 250 bots. Your big bruv's gorgeous little sister, but behind it all, you're a true pro. You're a journalist. You ask the questions we all want answered, but you ask them so sweetly, so nicely, they don't realise you're turning them over. So here's to the next 250 bots and more. Well, certainly all of us will all drink to that.
Congratulations, Em, on 250 episodes of Bit on the Side.
We're really proud of you. We love you lots. See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you who work on the show. I've had the best time. I'm not going anywhere. But the crew, all the people, the boys that you don't see and the girls behind the cameras, they're just amazing and everybody works so hard. Thank you so much for giving me my dream. But I don't like flowers! That was the news. What's happening up there?
Emma, happy 250th show, darling.
Don't worry, babe. We know you don't like flowers, so me and Michelle have been up your favourite curry house and got you a ruby and going to bring it straight down to you, babes.
It's actually all the way from Birmingham, Emma.
Birmingham, babes.
Thank you.
So is that Birmingham? Birmingham, babes?
I don't think so.
All right. I'll let you off.
Yeah, anyway, on with the news. Today, Ash says to Helen, they'd have to tell us if aliens from space took over the country. However, Helen replies, they might not have to.
Mark tells Helen he hates the smell of cabbage because it smells of farts.
True.
Ash leaps over the living room table. Winston also tries to join in, but then Big Brother has a go at them and says housemates should not jump over the table.
Why? Alison Hammond didn't. She had a great time, didn't she? She fell straight through it.
Love a bit of Alison. Mark tells Helen that his nan thinks Rylan is over the top, but he thinks if she met him, she'd love him.
Ashley tells Chris and Ash that she isn't ready to move from Ireland. She says, I don't think I could live far away from my mammy.
Okay.
This house has proven that.
Thank you. I've got to go because I've only just realised that we're running out of time. What's happening in Didge, boys?
Cool. So you can see all the fallout from the Power of the Money task online on Channel 5 on BigBrother.channel5.com. So go there. Also, it'll be the first place where you can find out how much money they eventually get. How good is that? Yes, so what else have we got here?
I don't know, but I can't concentrate anymore because of what's just happened.
I know, happy 250th, Thanks. Yeah. OK, you know what? Wow, look at this, look at this emotion here.
Come to sit with me, Liam.
Happy 250th.
That's a really nice present.
OK, so tweets, don't have any tweets. Because it's your 250th show today, guess what? We've got a special guest and a special prize for you.
I think we should...
Your 250th show made the news.
What better way to celebrate than with a cake?
Yay!
Check it out!
I love cake!
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I know. I've got a pair like this. Are these mine? Are they mine?
Yeah, we stole them from your dressing room.
No, they're not in my dressing room. I actually gave them to my mum, who just won that BT for her wedding anniversary. My dad really liked them. Thank you all so... I was really worried she was not going to have any knickers on as well. But she does, so that is a good thing. Thank you all so much. You look so smart. And as I said, thank you to everybody that works on the show and to all the audience that come every single day and to all of our guests and everybody who supports us and all of the brilliant housemates who make this show what they are. So thank you so much. That's my 250th show done and dusted. What's happening behind me? I'll be back tomorrow for my 251st. Can we have another party? Anna Williamson's going to be here, Sam Homewood and the gorgeous Stephen Mulher. Good night.